Hello and welcome to Annie's Short Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Vanishing Bride. Chapter 1, The Urgent Call. Phone pierced the stillness of Holly Arnold's modest apartment at 11:47 p.m., its shrill tone yanking her from the edge of sleep. She reached across her cluttered nightstand scattered with case files and a half-empty coffee mug and answered with practiced calm. Holly Arnold, private investigator. Miss Arnold, my name is James Harrington. I need your help. My fiancée, Emily, has disappeared from her room at the Stanton estate. The wedding's tomorrow, and we can't find her anywhere. The room was locked from the inside. Please, you have to come immediately. Holly bolted upright. A locked room disappearance. On the eve of a wedding? This wasn't just unusual, it was tantalizingly complex. I'll be there in 30 minutes, she replied. The night air bit at her as she dashed to her car, the mystery tugging at her like a loose thread begging to be unraveled. Chapter 2, The Enigmatic Disappearance. The Stanton estate loomed under the full moon, a sprawling mansion of weathered stone and ivy, its silhouette both majestic and foreboding. Holly was met at the grand oak doors by James, his face pale and eyes rimmed red, flanked by Emily's distraught mother and a stoic Mr. Stanton, who lingered near the foyer's roaring fireplace. "Show me the room," Holly demanded. They led her to the second floor, to Emily's bridal suite, a vision of opulence with silk drapes, a four-poster bed, and a fireplace crackling faintly. The staff had forced the door open when Emily didn't answer, revealing an eerie stillness. The key remained in the lock, turned from the inside. The windows, shut tight, latched securely. No signs of a struggle marred the pristine space. The wedding dress hung like a ghost, waiting for its wearer. Holly's gaze swept the room, methodical and piercing. She crouched by the fireplace, her fingers brushing the cool stone. A faint draught kissed her skin. One stone jutted slightly askew. She pressed it, and with a soft groan, a section of the wall swung open, unveiling a shadowed passage. "A secret way in and out," she whispered. This wasn't a disappearance, it was a puzzle. Chapter 3, Interviews and Suspicions. The clock ticked past midnight as Holly gathered the wedding party in the drawing room. James paced, his hands trembling. I checked on her at 10. She was fine. Nervous, but fine. Then she was just gone. Sarah, the maid of honor, twisted a silver bracelet around her wrist. I saw her last at 9. We laughed about the flowers. Her voice wavered, thin as a reed. Mark, the best man, leaned against the mantel, exuding charm laced with something darker. She's always been dramatic. His smile didn't reach his eyes. The housekeeper, Mrs. Jenkins, hovered near the door, her gnarled hands fidgeting. I brought her tea at 8. Nothing seemed amiss. Holly scribbled notes, her mind cataloguing every tick. She'd dig into their stories later. Right now, she needed evidence. Chapter 4, Clues Emerge. Back in the bridal suite, Holly scoured the scene with a predator's focus. Near the fireplace, a tiny shred of fabric snagged on a nail caught her eye. Silk, matching Emily's nightgown. She inhaled deeply. A faint, acrid whiff lingered beneath the rose perfume. Floral form, she realized, her stomach tightening. Outside, beneath the window, footprints dented the damp earth, but the locked panes mocked their presence. A diversion, perhaps. She returned to the passage, its narrow confines claustrophobic and damp. Soft marks scarred the stone floor. Something had been dragged through here. Chapter 5, The Secret of the Fireplace. Holly navigated the passage, its twists leading her to the basement. Dust motes danced in her flashlight's beam as she discovered a hidden door behind a stack of crates. Beyond it, a cramped room with a cot, coiled ropes, and a bottle of chloroform, its cap askew. Emily had been here, but where was she now? Whoever used this passage knew the estate's secrets. Holly's mind churned. Time was slipping away. Chapter 6, Unraveling Motives. Back upstairs, Holly pressed the suspects harder. "Mark, I hear you and Emily were once engaged." Still bitter she chose James. He stiffened. "I loved her. She broke my heart, sure, but kidnap her. No, Sarah, you're nervous. What's eating you?" "I've always envied her life, her love with James, but I'd never hurt her. James isn't good enough for her, but I'd never harm my own daughter, Mrs. Harrington." James's mother. Emily wasn't right for my son, too impulsive, but I wouldn't stoop to this. Motives swirled like smoke: jealousy, betrayal, control. Chapter 7. The Ransom Demand. A breathless messenger interrupted, thrusting a note into James's hands. $500,000 to the old mill at midnight, or Emily dies. No police. James paled, ready to pay, but Holly held up a hand. It's on estate stationery. This isn't an outsider. We'll prepare the money, but I'll track the pickup. Chapter 8. At midnight, Holly hid near the mill, the ransom bag a decoy beside a tree. A figure emerged hooded. Swifta snatched it and bolted. She pursued, silent as a shadow, following him back to the estate's side entrance. Inside, she cornered him, the gardener, his face a map of scars and guilt. "Who hired you?" she demanded. He crumpled. "Mrs. Harrington said she'd pay double to keep the girl away." Chapter 9. Holly burst into Mrs. Harrington's room, catching her mid-flight, suitcase in hand. "We're running already?" "I did it for James. Emily would have dragged him down. Her recklessness, her family scandals. I hired him to hide her until after the wedding and the ransom. A double-crossed. He got greedy." Holly snapped. "The cottage on the east grounds. She's alive, I swear." Chapter 10. Holly, James, and the police raced to the cottage, a crumbling relic shrouded in mist. Inside, Emily sat bound, her eyes wide with fear and relief as James untied her. "I heard her arguing with you," she told him. "I never thought she'd do this." Chapter 11. Aftermath. The gardener and Mrs. Harrington were hauled away in cuffs, the estate buzzing with police and stunned guests. Emily and James postponed their vows, needing time to mend the wounds of trust. Holly lingered, watching them cling to each other amidst the chaos. She'd found the bride alive, untangled the web of jealousy and betrayal, but the victory felt bittersweet. Darkness hid in the strangest places, even amidst love's bright promise. Epilogue. A week later, a letter arrived from Emily. Gratitude, an invitation to their rescheduled wedding. Holly smiled faintly, tucking it away. Cases like these reminded her why she did this, to pierce the shadows, to find truth in the murk. The Vanishing Bride was safe, but the next mystery waited, lurking just beyond the horizon. The end. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have had a great day.